What is up, you guys? Wowee! Can you believe what happened on Saturday when the UH men's basketball team traveled to Cal State Fullerton for what was their final road game of the season and likely the last time for the proverbial future that they will play at Titan Gym, and talk about making that trip one to remember. Now, that game was definitely less than perfect. But still, if you're going to win it the way that you did, that's the way you want to do it. I mean, especially with the game winner, and UH trail for almost a little over 35 minutes of the scheduled 40. But fortunately, they were able to take the lead on some occasions, but they couldn't make it stick. But this time, they found a way to win it all. Now, I will include a link to the buzzer beater from Dre Bullock, who led the team with 27 points, which was the most of anyone. And that was likely a career high for him. Isaac Johnson at 22. Those guys definitely deserve big rounds of applauses for the spark that they gave towards the end. And I'll get into that in a little bit, but remember, guys, subscribe if you think that I'm worth listening to, or if you just want to see some more of my games. And in the meantime, let's get into this. Here comes my banner. UH beats Cal State Fullerton at buzzer, 87-85. First road sweep for UH. Dre Bullock was the hero. Now, I'm going to get that one out of the way first. Dre Bullock, like I said, had 27 points, but none were bigger than the final three that he scored. Now, I was thinking about including that buzzer beater as a highlight on this video, but I think just to play it safe, I decided not to, and I will include a link to it in the description. But to see Dre pull off that buzzer beater with like 2.5 seconds left on the clock, that kind of took me back to when UH was trying to beat Cal State Fullerton without the services of Juan Munoz in 2023, and they just couldn't do it because they had all those Jekyll and Hyde games in the 22-23 season. But this time, it was anything but. Now, there were spurts where UH was kind of playing a little lethargic, but they did find a way to stay in their neighborhood thanks to their three-point shooting. They did really well from three-point range. I believe they made 14. But Fullerton was really stingy. And do I think that UH took Fullerton lightly? No, absolutely not. Sometimes when you go up against some of the teams that are around the middle or close to the bottom of the stack, that can kind of be a little deceiving on one side of the coin because you know they're a good team. But when they put on performances like Cal State Fullerton did, that can kind of maybe mess with your mind a little bit. But, fortunately, UH was able to find a way to stay in contention, and they walked away the winners thanks to that buzzer beater from Dre Bullock. And I'll tell you this, that kind of took me back to when Noel Coleman did those, so did Javon McClanahan, and I think on one occasion Juan Munoz did. But, wow, I was so thrilled. Now, this could have been a train wreck towards the end. UH ended the game on a 17-6 run, proving that it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. And UH started out kind of slow, falling behind 5-zip early, but they were able to take the lead on several occasions, but Fullerton was able to respond back every time. But fortunately, you cannot stop a buzzer beater from Dre Bullock because they left him wide open, and they ended up stunning Cal State Fullerton on what was senior night for them. Now, I do feel a little sorry for them since it was senior night, and to see them lose it the way that they did, oh, man. If I was a Cal State Fullerton fan, that would just haunt me till the day I die. But since I'm a fan of the University of Hawaii, I can honestly say I'm still floating on that for sure. I am so thrilled for them. They had to win it the hard way, but that's the way you want to win it, with a buzzer beater like Dre Bullock did. Now, as far as that game goes, I would kind of give it a B+, mainly because they couldn't stick the lead once they took it for the first time, or maybe the first 2 or 3 times. But still, they made it count at the buzzer, and I have to say, thank you, Dre Bullock. That's basically all you really can say. Because for Dre, I've been wondering if he was ever going to make a buzzer beater like Hunter Erickson did against UC Irvine at home. And what do you know? Dre got his time. And to get a road sweep in what was your final road trip as a member of the Big West, to win it that way, that's a big confidence booster for sure. And I do think that UH is starting to play with maybe a small amount of pressure relieved, since they're going to the tournament no matter what. But since they have a chance to possibly win the Big West regular season, wow. That's a big turnaround after last year, where they did not qualify for the Big West tourney. And I admit, last year's team could do great things if they just put their heads down and commit to making shots. But it is what it is. And fortunately, UH is certainly proving that they went at the transfer portal hard. And I will also say this. It is too bad that we're going to be losing Isaac Johnson and Hunter Erickson and Dre Bullock, because they're grad transfers. Also, Yassine Toomey. Jalen Myers is also a grad transfer, but he unfortunately left the team. But he's still enrolled at UH, and best wishes to Jalen as well in his endeavors. But still, this is going to be one of those seasons that's going to be hard to forget. It's been a long time since UH was this good. I mean, is it any good as the 16 season? Not quite, but it does rank up there as far as comparing the 16 season is concerned. But at the time, UH was going on some big streaks, like maybe 5 or 6 in a row. And fortunately for UH, that was 3 in a row for them. Their final homestand will be tonight against UC Riverside and Saturday night against Long Beach State. Unfortunately, I won't be at the Long Beach game because I will be at the Shave Ice Cup at the Hawaii Convention Center. But I will still do recaps of both games. You will see shots from the Riverside game, but unfortunately not Long Beach State. So as far as Riverside is concerned, I would probably have to put UH as maybe 3-point favorites. I don't expect UC Riverside to make this easy, but I do expect them to put up a fight, because they're definitely not playing as bad as they were, or actually it was just one of those nights, because when UH took them on at their place at the SRC Arena, Riverside only made 5 shots in the second half. And I'm not sure if they were dealing with some guys who were out injured at all, but still, they're a good team, and none of these conference opponents you could take lightly. But if the road trip was any indication, UH should come in with a lot of momentum, and I do think that UH should come away the winners against UC Riverside, but I still don't expect it to be a huge margin unless they find a way, unless they get off to a good start and just run away from them like they did at their place. And they ended up winning by 43. I don't know if the same thing is going to happen, because Riverside is playing a lot better. The unfortunate, albeit albeit so-so. But I don't expect them to make it easy. The unfortunate part for Riverside is no matter what happens after this week, they aren't going anywhere after this because they are eliminated from the Big West tourney, as is Cal State Bakersfield. They've been dealing with injuries. And Cal Poly punched their ticket when they beat Long Beach State. So those three teams, Long Beach, Riverside, and Bakersfield, are not going to the Big West tournament. And that's unfortunate for them anyway. But still, it wasn't long ago. Last year, we were in that boat where we didn't even qualify. And we could have, but unfortunately, the season was kind of a train wreck by then. And UH was not really playing all that great towards the end. And as a result, we didn't qualify last year. Don't have to worry about that this year, that's for sure. So, another reason why I would give this game a B+ is because as soon as they got the lead, they couldn't find a way to be able to keep it. UH, I'm talking about, aside from Dre Bullock's buzzer beater. And make no mistake, that is easier said than done. But I do think that UH has got to execute a little better. And also, as far as the final few minutes are concerned, they have to do a little better as far as their decision-making is concerned. Because what happened in the final minute or so was when Harry Rouhliadeff had turned it over on the inbound, and as a result, KJ Garris, or Kiwane Garris Jr. of Cal State Fullerton, took 2 attempts and sank a triple, and that could very well have ruined UH because they were on a 14-0 run prior to that, and then Fullerton went on a 6-0 run, and then Dre Bullock makes that buzzer-beating shot. And I will say this, though. If that game ended with UH on the losing end, I would have been so upset with them, especially losing to a team like Cal State Fullerton, who isn't really necessarily the sharpest team in the Big West, but they can take one away from you if you're not careful. Same goes for Cal Poly and Long Beach State and everybody else. But still, a win is a win, and I'm happy that they did that. And I'm happy UH ended up on the winning side of things. And that's where I'll leave it. So anyway, guys, that's all for today. And remember, subscribe. I'll see you all for UC Riverside. And I may very well do a recap of Long Beach after I get home and see the game. But anyway, thanks, guys. Subscribe. I'll see you all again. Go Bows.